Hey, it's Gary with SocrPro and Soccer Labs, and today I want to tell you about a new announcement that we have and a new project that we're working on, because right now we have SocrPro being used in clubs at 56 different countries the last time I looked. So that's a lot of locations, but what we don't have is an actual, let's say, example of how people are using it, what they're doing, and how they're doing it. Now, it wouldn't really be fair for us to disclose what other people are doing. I mean, that's part of our privacy policy. We're just not going to tell anyone about someone else, and we're not going to tell anyone else about you. I mean, that's just a basic consideration, right? Everyone expects that when they get an account in anything, that they get complete privacy and nobody knows what they're doing, how they're doing, or what they're doing. Well, that makes it a little difficult for us to show you how to use SocrPro in a real-world example. So what we've done is we've partnered up with the Mundelein Strikers. It's a local soccer club here. We have Soccer Labs in Mundelein, so it's a great fit. And what I'm going to be doing is taking a couple teams this fall and putting them out on the field and showing you what we can do when we take a new club. Well, not exactly a new club, but a club that's going to start using SocrPro in a new way. And we're going to take SocrPro, we're going to institute it as a coaching program, as a scheduling program. All the different tools that SocrPro offers, we're going to implement into the Strikers Club. Now, the second thing we're doing is combining our development program with Soccer Labs. So in other words, we'll be using standard field training as, your typical team practices with technical skills development at Soccer Labs to accelerate how these players play in a technical way, right? Not out on the field, but how good are they with foot skills, at shooting, at foot placement, all these different things that we work on at a technical level, which are better suited for a controlled environment like Soccer Labs. And we'll combine that with our SocrPro software. So now we're teaching the kids through our learning center what the baseline expectations are of them as a player. And then, of course, we video the games and we compare that baseline to the game footage. So if we want kids to build out of the back in a certain way, we teach them through our learning center. They see what the good examples are. And then, of course, when they get into the game, we video that, and then we use our telestration system inside of SocrPro to mark it up and show them how they are comparing to the baseline style of play. So the learning center creates the culture, teaches them the basic foundation and the baseline, and then of course the real-time games with them in it will show them how they stack up against best practices and of course the baseline expectations of play. So we have the technical skills center, so we're covering the technical side, we're covering the field or team side, and then of course SocrPro will be covering the brain training, the most important tool that any soccer player has. Now, on top of that, I'll be showing you guys how we implement the scheduling system, how we do player evaluations, how we do player profiles so that we can track them, how we create sessions and take our practice sessions and combine them with the scheduling system so that everything is coordinated and everything is working hand in glove. So I will show you how we're doing it because I can disclose what I'm doing without violating the privacy policy, because it's my privacy, right? So I'll show you how we're doing it and give you some best practices, or at least just give you an idea of how one person does it, how one club does it, and you can pick and choose what works for you or modify it to work in any way that fits your system. So this was the initial kickoff. We had a special session. It was team level training, technical skills training. Right away, of course, we find out that these kids, they kind of know what you're talking about when you're coaching them. But frankly, if you're not doing some sort of classroom training, if you're not doing some sort of learning center type environment, I would highly advise and really recommend that you challenge these kids with some basic questions. And you may be a little shocked at how, the answers are a little not as good as you think, okay? For example, if you just ask them what positions are, what's the role of that position, how to build out of the back, all these different things that you kind of assume the kids know and use the terminology, but often they don't know them. And especially when they start putting out, when they start putting out examples, when they start taking the video and reviewing it, and then they see it, and all of a sudden that brain starts to kick in. They're like, Oh, that's what you mean. You know, a lot of times these terms, they don't really mean to the kids what they mean to us. So it's really important that we go through this educational process. If we're going to be coaching out on the field without coaching the brain, there's going to be a missing link, and it's not really going to be apparent. You're going to see the same things going wrong over and over again, not because the kids don't want to do what you want them to do, they don't really understand what you want them to do, and videoing the games is a great way to do it. So anyhow, I don't want to get too deep into that because there's a lot more to SocrPro than just the billing. Of course, there's the surveys, the scheduling, the registration, the messaging, coaching parts, player evaluations, player pages, all those things are in there. And I'm going to show you how I use all those things to make a very effective system for the club and to go out and win more games. I mean, in the end, we want to be better coordinated as a club, as a team. But the primary objective is we want to be a better team. We want better players. We want to go out and win more games. I mean, in the end, that's what it's all about for us, is great development leads to winning more games, and winning more games makes more players happy. And when more players are happy, you keep those players around longer, you keep them in the sport longer, and they have a lot more fun. So stick around. I will be posting those videos. I will be teaching you and taking you through step by step all the things I'm doing. And I hope you subscribe, hit that notifications button, and join me on this wild ride. All right, this is Gary with SocrPro, free coaching software, and Soccer Labs, our technical training center, and of course the Mundelein Strikers. Wishing you a great day and good luck out on the pitch. Bye now.